Ever wondered what your brain is doing while you drift off to sleep? It's not just resting. It's working, repairing, and even dreaming up stories of its own. From processing emotions to cleaning out toxins, your mind runs a whole hidden universe at night. Tonight we're going to explore 100 fascinating ways your brain controls you while you sleep, and by the end you might never see bedtime the same way again. Fact 1. Your brain never truly sleeps. Have you ever noticed how even when you close your eyes at night your thoughts keep wandering? That's because your brain never truly sleeps. It might sound strange. After all, you feel completely out of it. But deep inside, different parts of your brain are still working, quietly managing the tasks that keep your body alive. Some areas slow down, like the parts that handle problem-solving or planning your day, but others, like those responsible for memory and emotion, stay surprisingly active. Think about it like a city at night. The streets may look empty, but the power plants hum, streetlights flicker on and off, and cleaning crews sweep the sidewalks. Similarly, your brain maintains essential housekeeping while you rest. It sorts memories, clears out waste, and even strengthens connections between neurons, basically tidying up so that tomorrow feels sharper and more focused. Interestingly, while the conscious mind is offline, your subconscious is awake enough to process emotions. That's why dreams often mix random thoughts, experiences and feelings in such strange, vivid ways. Even if you can't remember them, your brain is busy weaving little threads together, helping you learn, adapt, and reset for the next day. So even though sleep feels like a complete shutdown, it's more like a carefully choreographed dance behind the scenes. Your mind is working quietly, in ways you'll never notice, except in the sense that you wake up refreshed, or sometimes groggy if the rhythm gets disrupted. And the next time you yawn and stretch before bed, remember, your brain isn't slacking. It's on duty, silently preparing for the next day, almost like a loyal assistant who never takes a break. Tonight, as you drift off, think of it as a city never sleeping, always buzzing softly under the calm surface. Fact 2. The hypothalamus is the master sleep regulator. Imagine a tiny control center in your brain, no bigger than a pea, making decisions that affect almost every part of your day. That's your hypothalamus. It's the master sleep regulator, quietly telling your body when to wind down and when to wake up. Without it, your sleep schedule would be chaos, and your body wouldn't know when to release the chemicals that signal rest. The hypothalamus works with other parts of your brain and body, sensing changes in light, temperature, and even your hormone levels. It's like a conductor guiding a symphony, making sure everything hits the right note at the right time. When evening approaches, it signals the pineal gland to release melatonin, and gradually your body temperature drops, muscles relax, and your mind begins to slow down. What's fascinating is how sensitive it is to small disruptions. Staying up late, staring at bright screens, or even skipping meals can throw it off balance, and suddenly your internal clock feels like it's running on a different time zone. It's why jet lag feels so exhausting. The hypothalamus is trying to keep up with a new schedule while your environment is giving conflicting signals. The next time you feel your eyelids drooping at the perfect moment, that's your hypothalamus doing its job flawlessly. It's subtle, invisible, and incredibly efficient. And just like a good guide, it works behind the scenes, ensuring you get the restorative sleep your body craves, without you even noticing the effort it takes. Fact 3. The pineal gland secretes melatonin when darkness falls. There's a tiny gland deep in your brain, shaped a bit like a pine cone, doing something remarkably powerful. It tells your body it's time to sleep. This is the pineal gland, and when darkness falls, it starts secreting melatonin, the hormone that makes your body feel drowsy and ready for rest. Melatonin is like a natural lullaby for your body. Its release signals to your muscles, your heart, and even your mind that it's time to slow down. This is why stepping into a dimly lit room at night can suddenly make you feel sleepy, even if you weren't before. Your pineal gland is responding to the subtle cues of light and darkness, nudging your body toward calm and relaxation. Interestingly, melatonin levels peak in the middle of the night, helping you stay asleep, and then gradually drop toward morning to wake you up gently. But it's not just a one-trick hormone. It influences temperature, metabolism, and even your mood, linking sleep to almost every aspect of your health. That's why irregular sleep patterns, late-night screens, or bright artificial lights can make it harder to drift off. The pineal gland gets mixed signals and struggles to coordinate the timing, so next time you notice yourself feeling sleepy as dusk falls, thank the pineal gland. It's a tiny organ with a big responsibility, silently orchestrating your journey into rest while the rest of your brain takes a back seat. And while melatonin gently lulls you, your mind begins the slow, deliberate transition from wakefulness to dreams, almost like stepping into a quiet, welcoming room. Fact 4. Circadian rhythms control your sleep-wake cycle. Ever wondered why you naturally feel alert in the morning and sleepy at night, even without an alarm clock? That's your circadian rhythm at work, your body's 24-hour internal clock, controlling the sleep-wake cycle with remarkable precision. It's influenced by light, temperature, and lifestyle, and it keeps your energy levels predictable, almost like a schedule you don't even have to think about. Circadian rhythms affect more than just sleep. They influence hormone release, body temperature, digestion, and even alertness. That's why eating a heavy meal at midnight can make you feel sluggish, or why you might naturally hit a slump in the mid-afternoon. Your brain is following its internal script, nudging your body along a rhythm millions of years in the making. Disrupting this rhythm can be surprisingly impactful. Jet lag, shift work, or staying up too late confuses your body, and suddenly you're awake when your brain thinks you should be resting. Even exposure to artificial light at night can shift the rhythm, delaying melatonin production and making it harder to fall asleep naturally. Understanding your circadian rhythm can make a huge difference in daily energy and sleep quality. Simple habits, like consistent bedtimes, morning sunlight, and dim evening lighting, help your internal clock stay in tune. It's fascinating how this invisible rhythm shapes your entire day, guiding both alertness and rest without you ever noticing the complexity behind it. And as you settle into sleep tonight, remember, your circadian rhythm is the silent choreographer, orchestrating every rise and fall of energy, gently steering you toward the restorative night your body needs. Fact 5. Light exposure resets your internal clock. You've probably noticed how stepping outside in the morning feels refreshing. That's because light exposure is one of the most powerful cues for resetting your internal clock. When your eyes detect natural sunlight, the signal travels to the brain, telling your hypothalamus that it's time to wake up and be alert. Light exposure isn't just for mornings. It helps your brain stay synchronized with the day-night cycle, ensuring that melatonin is released at the right time in the evening. Even a few minutes outside can boost alertness, improve mood, and help you feel more awake during the day. Conversely, too much artificial light at night can confuse your brain, delay melatonin production, and make it harder to fall asleep. Interestingly, light doesn't have to be intense to have an effect. Even the faint glow of a sunset or the gentle brightness of a well-lit room can adjust your circadian rhythm. That's why people often feel groggy when stuck indoors all day. The brain misses the natural cues that help it regulate sleep. So, the next time you're struggling to wake up or feel restless at night, consider your exposure to light. Morning sunlight, a walk outside, or dimming lights in the evening can all help guide your internal clock back on track. And as darkness finally falls and the world quiets down, your brain takes these cues to heart, adjusting itself seamlessly, preparing for sleep, and reminding you how closely your mind and the natural world are intertwined. Fact 6. The suprachiasmatic nucleus is your brain's timekeeper. Have you ever wondered why you tend to wake up at the same time every morning, even without an alarm? That's thanks to a tiny pea-sized part of your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN for short. Think of it as your personal timekeeper, a little internal clock that keeps track of day and night and helps your body know when to wake, eat, or sleep. The SCN is located in the hypothalamus and works closely with your eyes. When your eyes detect light, the SCN sends signals to other parts of your brain, adjusting hormone levels and body temperature to match the time of day. Morning sunlight, for example, tells it to raise alertness and suppress melatonin, while fading light in the evening nudges your body toward rest. What's fascinating is how precise it is. Even if you spend a weekend indoors with no windows, your SCN still keeps a rough schedule. It's remarkably resilient. But exposure to regular light cycles strengthens it, which is why consistent sleep routines feel so natural. Disrupt it too much, like staying up late or traveling across time zones, and suddenly your internal clock is out of sync. Jet lag? That's your SCN scrambling to adjust. So the next time you feel alert at the perfect morning hour, or sleepy right after sunset, thank your suprachiasmatic nucleus. It's quietly running the show, a master timekeeper you don't even have to notice, and as your day winds down tonight, it will guide your body toward the calm, restorative rest that's coming, just as reliably as it did yesterday. Fact 7. Adenosine builds up to make you sleepy. You've probably felt it, that deep, irresistible sleepiness that hits after a long day. That feeling comes from a chemical called adenosine, which slowly builds up in your brain the longer you stay awake. Imagine it as a kind of internal hourglass. Every minute you're awake, more grains of sleepiness accumulate, nudging your body toward rest. Adenosine works quietly but powerfully. It attaches to receptors in the brain, slowing nerve activity and lowering alertness. That's why, by late evening, it becomes harder to keep your eyes open or concentrate on tasks. And caffeine. It's a clever little trick. It temporarily blocks adenosine receptors, giving your brain the illusion of alertness, even though the sleep debt is still growing. Interestingly, adenosine doesn't just make you tired, it also interacts with your other sleep systems, like the circadian rhythm we talked about earlier. It's part of a complex push and pull, making sure you feel sleepy at the right time, not just randomly. When adenosine finally reaches its peak, your body is primed for non-REM sleep, allowing your brain to slow down and recover. So that drowsy feeling before bed? It's your brain's way of saying, time to rest. It's subtle, inevitable, and entirely natural, a reminder that even the busiest brain needs downtime to reset. And as adenosine levels finally drop overnight, you wake up refreshed, ready to start the cycle again. Fact 8. Sleep pressure increases the longer you stay awake. Have you ever tried staying awake all night? By the early hours, everything starts feeling heavier. Your eyelids droop, focus slips, and even simple tasks feel monumental. That's sleep pressure, the biological force that grows the longer you remain awake. It's closely tied to adenosine buildup, pushing your brain toward your rest so it can recover. Sleep pressure is fascinating because it's not just about feeling tired, it actually influences how your brain works. High sleep pressure slows reaction times, reduces memory retention, and makes emotional control harder. That's why all-nighters rarely produce anything impressive. They fight against a powerful, built-in system designed to protect your brain. Interestingly, sleep pressure doesn't disappear instantly the moment you lie down. Your brain gradually eases into sleep, cycling through non-REM stages to repair and restore, before entering REM to process memories and emotions. The longer you've been awake, the stronger this push becomes, almost like a gentle, insistent tide urging you toward bed. So, sleep pressure is your brain's subtle but undeniable way of enforcing rest. It grows quietly, steadily, and eventually ensures that even the most stubborn mind gives in to sleep. Tonight, as your body starts to feel that irresistible pull, just remember, it's working in your favor, helping you recharge for tomorrow. Fact 9. Nerve activity slows during non-REM sleep. Ever noticed how everything feels quiet and still during deep sleep? That's because your nerve activity actually slows during non-REM sleep, the stage where your body does most of its repair work. Your brain isn't off. It's shifting gears, letting essential systems rest while other processes continue in the background. During non-REM sleep, neurons fire less frequently, and connections between different brain regions slow down. It's like a busy office shutting down for the night. Only the essential staff remains active, tidying up the workspace, filing important documents, and clearing out clutter. Meanwhile, the body takes advantage of this reduced neural activity to repair tissues, strengthen the immune system, and restore energy. Interestingly, non-REM sleep is also critical for memory consolidation. While your brain quiets external communication, it's busy organizing the day's experiences, storing important memories, and discarding unnecessary information. In that sense, the slowdown in nerve activity is a clever strategy. It prevents interference while your brain does its behind-the-scenes work. So, next time you drift into that deep, silent sleep, think of it as your brain gently stepping down a gear, performing essential maintenance while the rest of you rests. It's a quiet, powerful phase that sets the stage for REM sleep, where emotions and dreams take the spotlight. Fact 10. REM sleep is when your brain processes emotions. You know that feeling when a dream leaves you feeling happy, sad, or sometimes confused when you wake up. That's REM sleep at work, the stage when your brain processes emotions and sorts through feelings from the day. Unlike non-REM sleep, your neurons are firing rapidly, almost like a lively discussion happening behind the closed eyelids. During REM, your amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for emotions, is highly active. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, which normally regulates judgment, takes a back seat, letting feelings flow more freely. This is why dreams often feel vivid, illogical, or emotionally intense. It's your brain experimenting, trying to make sense of experiences and regulate mood. Interestingly, REM sleep also strengthens emotional resilience. A night rich in REM can help you respond to challenges with more calm and clarity the next day. Conversely, lack of REM may leave emotions unprocessed, making stress feel heavier. It's almost like an overnight therapy session, quietly helping your mind recover from daily stresses. So, as you drift into REM tonight, remember, every bizarre, colourful, or emotional dream is part of your brain's natural way of keeping you balanced. It's not random, it's purposeful, gently guiding your mind through the landscape of feelings and leaving you ready to face a new day with a little more emotional clarity. Fact 11. GABA quiets overactive neurons for sleep. Have you ever tried to sleep while your mind feels like it's running at full speed? Thoughts bouncing around, ideas piling up, memories replaying. It's like your brain refuses to dim the lights. That's exactly where GABA steps in. GABA is a calming chemical in your brain, almost like someone gently turning the volume down on a noisy room. Throughout the day, neurons fire constantly. They send messages, react to sounds, solve problems, and try to keep you alert. But at night, that activity needs to slow down. GABA helps make that shift happen. When it's released, it stops unnecessary signals from bouncing around, quieting the noise so your mind can ease into rest. Imagine flipping a switch from busy highway to empty streets. That's the feeling GABA creates. It doesn't shut everything off. It just calms the parts that don't need to be active at night. It gives your brain a chance to focus on restorative processes without being interrupted by racing thoughts or unnecessary mental chatter. If GABA levels are too low, it becomes harder to fall asleep. Thoughts feel louder, rest feels further away. This is why deep breathing, stretching, or dim lights can help. They gently support the release of calming chemicals like GABA. So next time you feel yourself slowly drifting into that peaceful feeling before sleep, it's probably GABA doing exactly what it's meant to do, quieting the noise so your mind can finally rest. And it's almost comforting to know that even in silence, something inside you is working softly on your behalf, guiding you into the calm you've been waiting for. Fact 12. Serotonin regulates sleep onset and mood. There's a gentle shift that happens as evening settles in, a kind of soft unwinding that you sometimes don't even notice. That feeling comes partly from serotonin, a chemical that shapes your mood during the day and then helps guide you into sleep at night. Serotonin is interesting because it plays two roles at once. During the day, it keeps your mood steady, helping you feel grounded and balanced. But as night approaches, your brain uses serotonin as a building block to create melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep. It's like a friend who spends the whole day encouraging you, then gently leads you toward rest when evening arrives. When serotonin levels are balanced, sleep onset feels natural. You don't force it, you just drift. Your thoughts quiet, your breathing slows, and your mind eases into that soft space between awake and asleep. But when serotonin is low, both mood and sleep can feel shaky, like your brain is missing an important cue. Tiny habits help serotonin stay steady. Sunlight in the morning, movement during the day, and calm routines at night. It doesn't take much, just small signals that your brain understands. So when you're lying in bed and you feel yourself slipping into that peaceful beginning of sleep, think of serotonin as the quiet guide that helped you get there. It's subtle, but its impact touches every part of how you settle, unwind, and eventually close your eyes. Fact 13. Dopamine affects alertness and sleep readiness. Dopamine is usually known as the chemical that wakes you up, keeps you motivated, and helps you stay alert. But there's another side to it, a quieter one, that plays a surprising role in helping you fall asleep. During the day, dopamine keeps you focused. It boosts energy, sharpens attention, and helps you stay engaged. But as bedtime approaches, your brain naturally reduces dopamine levels so that your body can slow down. It's like turning down bright lights in a room to help your eyes relax. When dopamine stays too high at night, your body struggles to shift gears. You might feel restless, mentally active, or unable to settle. On the other hand, when dopamine gently lowers like it's supposed to, it clears the path for sleep chemicals to take over. Calmness replaces alertness, your mind softens, and sleep readiness becomes smooth instead of forced. The interesting part is how dopamine works with other systems. It signals wakefulness in the morning, helps your internal clock stay organized, and subtly guides your brain through the rhythm of the day. But when the day ends, it knows how to step back and let rest take the lead. So if you ever feel yourself slowly losing that daytime sharpness and drifting into a softer focus at night, that's dopamine stepping aside, clearing space for your mind to wander into rest. It's a small detail with a big impact on how naturally you fall asleep. Fact 14. Cortisol interferes with falling asleep if too high. Everyone has had those nights where sleep just won't arrive, no matter how tired you feel. Your body is still, the room is quiet, but your mind feels awake in a way you can't quite explain. Often, that's because of cortisol, the chemical that keeps you alert, especially during stress. Cortisol isn't bad. During the day, it helps you wake up, stay focused, and respond to challenges, but at night, it's supposed to drop. When it stays high, your brain acts like it's still in daytime mode, scanning, thinking, and refusing to settle. Long to-do lists, late-night worries, intense conversations, or even bright screens can all push cortisol levels up. And when that happens, sleep feels distant. You might lie there thinking about things you didn't even care about during the day. Your heart feels a little quicker, your mind a little louder. The good news is that cortisol follows signals. Soft lights, steady breathing, predictable night routines, all of these help it drop. Even something as simple as stepping away from screens an hour before bed can make a difference. So, if you ever wonder why your mind feels awake when your body's tired, it might be cortisol whispering that it hasn't wound down yet. But with the right cues, it learns to soften, and once it does, sleep finally has a chance to reach you. Fact 15. Orexin keeps you awake during the day. Orexin is like a built-in stay-awake switch. When it's active, you feel alert, steady, and ready to move through your day. It keeps your energy balanced and prevents you from suddenly drifting into sleep when you shouldn't. What makes orexin interesting is how closely it works with other systems. It listens to your internal clock, your energy levels, and even your emotions. When everything lines up, orexin keeps you awake smoothly, without effort. But when orexin drops too low, staying awake feels harder. You might feel drowsy in the middle of the day or find your focus slipping unexpectedly. Orexin does its work quietly. It supports attention, motivation, and wakefulness, without you feeling the mechanics behind it. And when evening comes, orexin slowly reduces, giving your body permission to enter the softer stages of your night cycle. So the next time you make it through a long afternoon without crashing, thank orexin for keeping your brain steady. It's the invisible force that helps your days stay bright, your thoughts stay clear, and your energy stay balanced until it's finally time to unwind. Fact 16. Acetylcholine triggers dreaming during REM sleep. There's a moment every night when your brain quietly flips a switch, and suddenly, the world inside you becomes louder than the world outside. That switch is acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that acts like a spark, lighting up your inner cinema. When you enter REM sleep, your brain doesn't slow down. It activates. It starts firing patterns that look almost like you're awake. Acetylcholine is the chemical that makes this possible. It's the signal that tells your brain, all right, time to start imagining. Think of it like a backstage crew turning on spotlights. Sensory areas wake up. Emotional centers activate. Memory networks begin stitching together pieces of your day with pieces from your past. Suddenly, a place you visited once becomes the setting for a dream you didn't expect. A voice you barely remember becomes part of a strange conversation. And the wildest part, your muscles stay completely still while your mind runs freely. That's because your brain deliberately freezes your body during REM sleep, so you don't physically act out your dreams. Acetylcholine helps coordinate that balance. an active brain, a resting body. Sometimes this chemical spark makes your dreams vivid. Sometimes it makes them confusing. Sometimes it makes them feel so real that you wake up wondering if you lived another life for a few seconds. Your dreaming brain doesn't follow logic because acetylcholine activates areas related to imagination more than areas related to planning or order. So dreams come out messy, emotional, symbolic, and beautifully strange. If you ever wake up thinking, "Why did I dream that?" blame the chemical that turns your thoughts into a nighttime movie. Your dreams don't come from nothing. They come from acetylcholine turning your mind into a storyteller. Fact 17. Histamine promotes wakefulness. Most people only think of histamine when they think of allergies, but your brain uses it for something completely different: staying awake. Deep inside your brain is a small group of neurons that quietly release histamine throughout the day. These cells act like tiny internal alarms that say, "Stay alert, stay focused, stay here." They help you read, listen, react, make decisions, all without drifting off. This is why antihistamines make you sleepy. When you block the histamine system, you're basically shutting off your brain's natural signal for wakefulness. Without that chemical push, your mind feels heavier, slower, softer, like someone dimmed your internal lights. Histamine also works as a stabilizer. It partners with other chemicals like dopamine and norepinephrine to keep your attention anchored. It helps regulate your transitions between sleep stages so your brain doesn't jump or collapse too quickly. When histamine levels fall at night, it's not an accident. Your brain lowers them on purpose to prepare for rest. This drop creates that gentle shift. The moment you blink a little slower, your thoughts wander, and your body finally says, "Enough." But during the day, histamine is like the friend who keeps nudging your shoulder saying, "Don't drift, let's go, stay awake." So next time you feel unusually alert, unusually focused, or unusually sleepy after allergy meds, remember, histamine is your brain's daytime power switch, and when that switch fades, your eyelids follow. Fact 18. Endorphins can ease you into sleep. Endorphins are usually associated with moments of relief. A long exhale after stress, a calm wave after exercise, or that soft warmth after a good laugh. But they play another role people rarely think about, helping you drift towards sleep. These natural chemicals act like internal comfort signals. They smooth out physical tension and soften emotional edges. When endorphins rise, your body feels safer, and your mind doesn't cling so tightly to the worries of the day. That comfort makes falling asleep easier. Think about the times sleep came quickly, after a warm shower, a peaceful walk, or a satisfying conversation. That ease isn't random. It's endorphins lowering your internal noise. They help quiet pain signals too. Even small aches can keep your brain alert, scanning, monitoring. Endorphins step in and turn that volume down so your mind can release its grip. And when you're resting, these chemicals often work together with other systems, lowering stress hormones, relaxing your muscles, regulating breathing. It's like a team of tiny helpers leading you gently toward that first stage of sleep. If you ever wondered why stretching before bed feels good, why warm food calms you, or why soft laughter makes you drowsy, it's because your endorphin system is preparing you for rest. Sleep isn't just about shutting down. Sometimes it begins with comfort, and comfort begins with endorphins. Fact 19. Prostaglandins signal fatigue to the brain. Prostaglandins are like the quiet messengers of tiredness. They build up slowly throughout the day, carrying subtle signals that whisper, "You've done enough." Unlike sudden chemicals that create sharp feelings, prostaglandins work gradually. They increase when your body uses energy, when your immune system is active, and when your brain stays alert for too long. The more you do, the louder their message gets. When prostaglandins reach a certain point, your brain interprets it as fatigue. Your reactions slow, your motivation dips. Even simple tasks start to feel heavier. This isn't failure, it's biology protecting you. These messengers also influence your body temperature and inflammation, which is why you feel sleepier when your body's healing or recovering. Your system is trying to conserve energy by pulling you toward rest. They interact with other chemicals too, like adenosine, forming a combined voice of "it's time to stop." The moment you feel that late-night heaviness, the kind that pushes you toward your pillow, prostaglandins are a major part of the reason. Even yawning is influenced by these signals. Your brain uses it as a way to reset, cool down, and prepare for the shift from alertness to rest. So when your eyes burn a little at night, or your face warms, or your attention drifts, you're not being lazy. Your body is communicating. Fatigue isn't a weakness. It's prostaglandins reminding you to return to yourself. Fact 20. Adenosine receptors increase sleep drive. Every hour you stay awake, tiny molecules of adenosine quietly accumulate in your brain. They attach to special receptors, little docking stations that interpret their presence as growing sleep pressure. The more adenosine that attaches, the stronger the message becomes. It's time to rest. These receptors are like sensors that measure how long you've been awake. They don't care what you did, how busy you were, or how energized you feel. Time alone increases the signal. But here's the interesting part. Adenosine doesn't put you to sleep on its own. It simply pushes your brain in that direction. It lowers alertness, softens focus, and gently shifts your attention inward. Caffeine works by blocking these receptors. It doesn't remove adenosine, it just prevents it from attaching. So the sleepiness is still there, waiting, building, stacking up. That's why the crash hits harder later. The receptors finally open again, and all that stored adenosine rushes in. When you finally fall asleep, your brain clears adenosine away like cleaning a full table. By the time you wake, the receptors are empty again, ready for another day. Your sleep drive is not an emotion or a decision. It's chemistry measuring your hours. And when adenosine fills those receptors, your brain knows the day is done. Fact 21. Beta waves dominate when you're awake. Ever notice how your mind seems to race when you're solving a problem, checking messages, or planning your day? That mental energy comes from beta waves, the fast, high-frequency brain waves that dominate when you're fully awake and alert. Beta waves are like the engine of your brain. They keep thoughts moving, focus sharp, and reactions quick. When you're engaged in conversation, writing, or even making decisions at work, beta waves are firing consistently, connecting neurons in rapid bursts. Interestingly, beta waves can sometimes make relaxation tricky. Ever try to fall asleep immediately after a stressful day? Your beta waves might still be running full speed, keeping your mind alert even when your body craves rest. That's why winding down is so important. Quieting the beta waves allows your brain to shift towards slower, more restorative rhythms. They're not just about speed, though. Beta waves are also linked to attention and problem solving. They let your brain filter what's important, focus on goals, and navigate complex tasks. Think of them as a spotlight, highlighting the ideas and information that matter most. So the next time you feel fully awake, energized, and sharp, thank your beta waves. They're doing the heavy lifting of your conscious life, and as evening approaches, those same waves gradually slow down, paving the way for a calmer, dreamier state, a gentle handoff from activity to rest. Beta waves are your mind's engine, revving during the day and coasting toward night. Fact 22. Alpha waves indicate relaxed wakefulness. After a long day, you might sit quietly, closing your eyes for a moment or staring out a window. That calm, almost meditative feeling? That's alpha waves at work. These slower brain waves appear when you're awake but relaxed, bridging the gap between alertness and sleep. Alpha waves are like your brain taking a deep sigh. They slow down thought processes, quiet the constant chatter, and make space for calm reflection. Meditation, soft music, or just a few minutes of mindful breathing can increase alpha activity, helping you feel centered and at ease. Interestingly, alpha waves also help your mind prepare for sleep. They signal a transition, telling your nervous system that it's okay to release tension and let go of the day's worries. When alpha activity increases, your body feels lighter, your muscles relax, and you're more receptive to the slower, dream-oriented waves that follow. Alpha waves aren't just for relaxation, they support creativity too. When your mind is in this state, connections form more freely, ideas flow more easily, and solutions often appear seemingly out of nowhere. That's why some of your best thoughts come when you're staring at the ceiling or daydreaming. So, the next time you feel calm but awake, that gentle mental hum is alpha waves guiding you. They're the soft pause your brain gives itself before the deeper rhythms of sleep arrive. Alpha waves are the quiet lull before the night story begins. Fact 23. Theta waves appear as you drift to sleep. Ever experienced that in-between state where you're not fully awake but not quite asleep? That's theta waves taking the stage. These slow, rhythmic brainwaves appear as you drift into sleep, guiding your mind toward the first stage of rest. Theta waves are like the twilight of consciousness. Your thoughts become dreamy, fragmented, and often surreal. You might notice fleeting images, half-formed ideas, or that sensation of slipping away into nothingness. It's a unique space where your brain begins disconnecting from the outside world. This stage is also tied to memory and emotional processing. Even as your mind slows down, it continues organizing information, connecting experiences, and letting go of unnecessary mental clutter. Theta waves create the perfect backdrop for this subtle, restorative work. Interestingly, some people notice hypnagogic images or brief hallucinations during this phase. Tiny glimpses of the dream world waiting to bloom. It's a natural part of how your brain transitions from active thought to the deeper stages of sleep. So next time you catch yourself nearly asleep but aware, that hazy, floating sensation, those are theta waves gently guiding you, ushering your mind into the world of dreams. Theta waves are the soft bridge between today's mind and tonight's dreams. Fact 24. Delta waves dominate deep sleep. When you finally sink into the deepest, most restorative part of the night, delta waves take over. These are the slowest, largest brain waves, forming a powerful rhythm that dominates non-REM deep sleep. Delta waves are like a lullaby for your body. They signal rest, repair, and restoration. During this stage, your body heals tissues, strengthens your immune system, and restores energy. Your brain is also busy consolidating memories, clearing toxins, and preparing you for the day ahead. Unlike the fleeting theta waves or the alert beta waves, delta waves are steady and strong. They create a sense of stillness that permeates your body. Your heartbeat slows, breathing deepens, and muscles relax. It's the kind of sleep that truly rejuvenates. Interestingly, delta waves are more prominent in younger people, which is why children often sleep so soundly. With age, deep sleep naturally decreases, and delta activity becomes shorter. That's why restful sleep sometimes feels harder to achieve later in life. So tonight, when you feel yourself slipping into that heavy, peaceful slumber, remember, delta waves are quietly orchestrating the work of your body and brain, making sure you wake up restored and ready. Delta waves are the foundation of sleep, steady and strong beneath the night. Fact 25. REM sleep shows fast, irregular brain waves. After deep sleep, your brain flips a switch again, and REM sleep begins. Here, the waves are fast, irregular, and unpredictable, almost like your mind is alive with its own private party. This is the stage where dreams flourish, emotions process, and your imagination runs free. REM brain waves look more like awake waves than deep sleep waves, even though your body remains still. Your eyes move rapidly beneath closed lids, neurons fire in bursts, and the amygdala, responsible for emotion, lights up. Your brain is active, creative, and processing experiences in ways that feel almost magical. Interestingly, REM isn't just about dreaming. It helps consolidate emotional memories, balance moods, and prepare your mind to handle stress and challenges the next day. Your brain is practicing, processing, and organizing, all while you're completely unaware. So the next time you wake from a vivid dream, remember that it wasn't random chaos. Those fast, irregular waves were carefully guiding your mind, turning the night into a rehearsal for your waking life. REM waves are the mind's lively storyteller, weaving dreams while the world sleeps. Fact 26. Sleep spindles protect sleep from disruptions. Have you ever woken up briefly from a loud noise and then drifted right back to sleep? That's thanks to sleep spindles, tiny bursts of brain activity that act like a shield for your rest. Sleep spindles are short, rhythmic waves that appear during non-REM sleep. They function like sentries, monitoring the brain for external interruptions. When a sound or minor disturbance occurs, these spindles help your brain decide, is this important, or can we keep sleeping? Most of the time, the brain lets the body continue resting, and you barely notice the interruption. Beyond protecting sleep, sleep spindles also play a role in memory consolidation. They help lock in new information from the day and strengthen neural connections. That's why a night with healthy spindles can make learning and problem-solving feel easier the next day. Interestingly, the number and strength of sleep spindles can vary depending on age and stress levels. Young adults typically have stronger spindles, which may explain why children often sleep so soundly despite busy environments. So when you wake up feeling like you slept through everything, thank your sleep spindles. They quietly defended your night, keeping your rest uninterrupted and your brain in top shape. Sleep spindles are the silent guardians of your nightly recharge. Fact 27. K-complexes help consolidate memory. While sleep spindles guard your rest, K-complexes take care of your memories. These sudden, high-amplitude waves occur in non-REM sleep and act as both a response to stimuli and a memory aid. K-complexes are fascinating because they respond to the outside world while simultaneously consolidating information inside. A sound might trigger a K-complex, but instead of fully waking you, it gently filters the information and strengthens important memories. It's like your brain is saying, "This is worth keeping, but don't disturb the sleep schedule." They also appear spontaneously, creating bursts of activity that help the brain process new skills, knowledge, or experiences. Studies show that people with more pronounced K-complexes often have better memory retention. That's your brain multitasking while you sleep, blending protection, processing, and preparation. So tonight, as you rest, complexes are quietly reinforcing everything you learned today, making sure tomorrow your brain can access it efficiently. K-complexes are your mind's nighttime archivists, filing away the day's important moments. Fact 28. Slow-wave sleep is critical for physical repair. Slow-wave sleep, often called deep sleep, is the stage where your body truly rejuvenates. The brain produces large, slow delta waves, signaling rest and repair. But it's not just about the mind. Your muscles, tissues, and immune system all benefit. During this stage, growth hormones are released, helping rebuild cells and repair damage from daily activity. This is why athletes or physically active people need consistent deep sleep. It's when their bodies do the real recovery work. Slow-wave sleep also strengthens immune defenses, so you're better equipped to fight off illness. Interestingly, slow-wave sleep diminishes with age, which partly explains why older adults often feel less refreshed after the same amount of rest. Maintaining routines that support deep sleep, like dim lighting, calm environments, and reduced screen exposure, can help maximize this restorative phase. So when you sink into that heavy, calm sleep, your body is hard at work. Muscles rebuild, tissues restore, and your entire system rejuvenates, all guided by those slow, rhythmic brain waves. Slow-wave sleep is your body's nightly repair shop, quietly restoring strength for tomorrow. Fact 29. Brainwave patterns signal different sleep needs. Not all nights are the same, and your brain knows it. Different wave patterns signal what kind of sleep your body and mind need. Fast waves indicate alertness or dreaming, while slow waves show deep restorative needs. For instance, after a stressful day, your brain may spend more time in slow-wave sleep to recover physically, whereas a day filled with learning might trigger more non-REM spindle activity to consolidate memories. These patterns act like a personalized sleep report, subtly adjusting the night's structure to meet your needs. It's fascinating how flexible your brain is. Even if you miss a few hours of rest, your sleep cycles can adapt, prioritizing deep sleep or REM depending on what the body requires most. It's a reminder that sleep is not a one-size-fits-all process. It's a dynamic system tuned by your own experiences and biology. So, tonight, your brain will naturally orchestrate the waves that matter most, sometimes slow, sometimes fast, making sure that by morning both mind and body are ready to face the day. Brainwave patterns are your internal sleep director, customizing rest every night. Fact 30. Micro-awakenings happen naturally and briefly. Even during deep, uninterrupted sleep, tiny micro-awakenings occur. You might not even remember them. They last only a few seconds, but your brain briefly checks the environment, ensuring everything is safe. These brief awakenings are normal and serve a purpose. They allow your brain to monitor for danger, adjust body position, or even transition between sleep stages. Micro-awakenings often happen dozens of times per night, but because they're so short, they rarely disrupt your overall rest. Interestingly, some researchers believe these moments also help maintain memory and cognitive function. The brain takes a quick snapshot before slipping back into deep sleep or REM. It's like a soft reboot in the background, keeping everything running smoothly without disturbing the flow. So the next time you wake up feeling like you slept perfectly, know that tiny checks happened in your mind all night. They're subtle, efficient, and entirely natural. part of the brain's careful orchestration of rest. Micro-awakenings are your mind's gentle check-ins, ensuring safety and smooth sleep without you ever noticing. Fact 31. Sleep cycles last about 90 minutes. Have you ever wondered why a full night's sleep can feel segmented, almost like it's broken into chapters? That's because your brain naturally organizes sleep into cycles of about 90 minutes each. During a sleep cycle, your body moves through non-REM stages into REM sleep, then sometimes back again. Each cycle is a complete mini-night of rest, packed with different activities: physical repair, memory consolidation, emotional processing, and dreaming. Interestingly, the number of cycles you complete affects how refreshed you feel. Most adults go through 4 to 6 cycles a night, with the longest REM periods happening closer to morning. That's why waking up mid-cycle can leave you groggy, while waking at the end of a cycle often feels easier. Sleep cycles also adapt to your body's needs. If you missed sleep the night before, later cycles may be longer in deep sleep stages, helping your body recover. If your day was mentally heavy, REM may dominate certain cycles to process emotions and experiences. Understanding sleep cycles can even help with planning naps. A short 20-minute nap may keep you in lighter sleep, avoiding grogginess, while a full 90-minute nap can allow your brain to complete a full cycle, leaving you restored. So tonight, as you close your eyes, your brain quietly begins a series of these 90-minute journeys, carefully balancing repair, restoration, and dream work, a rhythm that repeats silently, tirelessly, until morning arrives. Sleep cycles are your brain's natural way of organizing the night, like chapters in a story that restores and prepares you. Fact 32. Non-REM sleep has 3 distinct stages. Non-REM sleep is where the body does most of its repair work, and it's divided into 3 distinct stages, each with a specific purpose. It's like 3 steps leading you down into the world of deep rest. Stage 1 is light sleep. Your body starts to relax, muscles loosen, and brain waves slow. You can wake easily from this stage, and it's often where hypnagogic moments, fleeting images or sensations appear. It's the gentle transition from wakefulness into the night. Stage 2 is where the magic of learning and memory consolidation begins. Sleep spindles and K-complexes help your brain process the day's experiences, filing important memories and discarding unnecessary details. Your heart rate slows, body temperature drops, and you begin to drift deeper into stillness. Stage 3 is deep, restorative sleep. Delta waves dominate, and your body does most of its physical repair. Growth hormones release, tissues heal, and the immune system strengthens. This stage is critical. Without enough deep sleep, you may feel tired even after a full night. Each stage flows seamlessly into the next, creating a cascade of rest and recovery that the brain orchestrates perfectly. Missing stages or having disrupted non-REM sleep can affect both physical and mental health. So, as you drift off tonight, your body is entering this carefully staged sequence. Each moment, each wave, each subtle change is part of a plan that leaves you restored by morning. Non-REM stages are your brain's step-by-step guide to complete restoration. Fact 33. Stage 1 is light sleep, easy to wake from. Stage 1 is the gateway into sleep, a fleeting phase that lasts only a few minutes but is crucial. It's light, gentle, and delicate, the bridge between full wakefulness and deeper rest. During this stage, your muscles relax, breathing slows, and your eyes drift. Your brain begins producing slower theta waves, signaling that the body is ready to leave the busy world behind. Hypnagogic imagery may appear, those brief flashes of dreamlike visuals that feel like a crossover from day to night. You can wake easily from stage 1. A sound, a small movement, or even your own thoughts might pull you back into consciousness. It's nature's way of keeping you alert until the body is fully ready to surrender to sleep. Stage 1 is also a signal. Your brain uses it to check your environment while initiating rest, making sure the transition into deeper stages is smooth and safe. Even if you wake briefly during this stage, your brain is cleverly easing you in, minimizing disruption. So tonight, as you close your eyes, stage 1 is your gentle introduction, a soft landing that starts the night's journey without a jolt. Stage 1 is the soft whisper that welcomes you into the world of sleep. Fact 34. Stage 2 consolidates learning and memory. Stage 2 is where your brain begins sorting the day. Sleep spindles and K-complexes appear, subtly locking in what matters and letting go of what doesn't. This is why a good night's sleep can make you sharper, more focused, and ready to tackle challenges. During stage 2, your heart rate slows, body temperature dips, and muscles relax even further. The mind becomes quieter, yet remarkably productive, silently organizing memories and reinforcing skills learned earlier. It's like a digital filing system working behind the scenes while your body rests. Interestingly, stage 2 makes up nearly half of your total sleep time, highlighting its importance. Even though it isn't deep sleep, it is critical. Without enough stage 2 sleep, learning efficiency and memory consolidation can suffer. So when you wake feeling like the day's events are clearer in your mind, or a problem you were stuck on seems easier, part of the credit goes to this subtle stage. Your brain has quietly been working while you dreamt and rested. Stage 2 is the night's quiet librarian, organizing thoughts and memories while you sleep. Fact 35. Stage 3 is deep, restorative sleep. Stage 3 is where your body truly heals. Delta waves dominate, signaling deep, restorative non-REM sleep. Here, the mind slows, muscles relax completely, and the body focuses on repair and recovery. Growth hormones are released, tissues rebuild, and the immune system strengthens. If you're physically active, stage 3 is critical. It's when the body repairs micro-tears, restores energy, and rebuilds resilience. Mentally, this stage also contributes to memory consolidation and overall brain restoration. Deep sleep is harder to wake from. If disturbed, you may feel groggy or disoriented, a sign of how essential this stage is for the brain and body. It's the kind of sleep that leaves you truly refreshed in the morning. Interestingly, stage 3 dominates the earlier sleep cycles of the night, while later cycles emphasize REM and dreaming. Your brain cleverly balances physical repair with emotional processing across the night. So tonight, as you settle into the deeper stages, remember that stage 3 is quietly working behind the scenes, restoring strength, clarity, and vitality. Stage 3 is the night's foundation, rebuilding your body and mind for tomorrow. Fact 36. REM sleep lengthens with each cycle. Have you ever noticed that your dreams feel longer closer to morning? That's because REM sleep, the stage where dreaming flourishes, grows with each sleep cycle. Early in the night, REM periods are short, sometimes only a few minutes, but as the night progresses they can stretch up to an hour. This gradual lengthening is no accident. Your brain balances restorative deep sleep earlier in the night with longer REM periods later, allowing emotions, memories, and creativity to be processed when the body is most rested. REM acts almost like a mental workshop, where experiences of the day are integrated and emotional events are sorted. Interestingly, the longer REM stretches, the more vivid and detailed your dreams can feel. That's why morning dreams often linger in your mind. Your brain is more active in this stage, firing fast, irregular waves while your body remains still, creating a perfect environment for imagination. The progressive lengthening also explains why late-night awakenings often catch you mid-dream. You might remember fragments, emotions, or entire scenes, a glimpse into the intricate work REM is doing while you rest. So tonight, as your sleep cycles continue, REM will quietly expand, giving your mind time to explore, process, and dream in ways that feel almost alive. REM sleep is your brain's growing stage of imagination, stretching its wings as the night deepens. Fact 37. Dreams mostly occur during REM sleep. Dreams are mysterious, captivating, and sometimes confusing, but most of them happen during REM sleep. This is the stage when your brain is highly active, emotions are vivid, and imagination runs unchecked. During REM, your mind produces fast, irregular waves similar to wakefulness, yet your body remains paralyzed to prevent acting out dreams. Your emotional centers, memory circuits, and sensory regions all fire simultaneously, creating scenarios that range from the fantastical to the mundane. Dreams during REM are more coherent and story-like compared to the fleeting images of lighter sleep stages. Your brain uses this time to process experiences, consolidate emotional memories, and rehearse problem-solving strategies. Even nightmares serve a purpose, helping the mind confront challenges safely while asleep. Interestingly, the content of dreams can reflect your day, your emotions, or even unresolved conflicts. While you might not consciously control them, your brain uses dreams as a playground for learning, healing, and creativity. So tonight, as you drift into REM, your mind is quietly crafting entire worlds behind closed eyes, allowing experiences to settle, emotions to balance, and imagination to soar. Dreams are the nightly creations of a busy, active mind, exploring the unseen corners of your thoughts. Fact 38. Your brain alternates between deep and REM sleep. Sleep isn't a straight path. It's a rhythm of alternation. Your brain cycles between deep, restorative sleep and REM sleep multiple times each night, balancing physical repair with emotional and cognitive processing. Early cycles emphasize deep sleep, where delta waves dominate, and your body undergoes the most intense repair work. Later cycles shift toward REM, lengthening dream periods and allowing the mind to consolidate memories, process emotions, and rehearse responses to challenges. This alternation is crucial. Deep sleep alone cannot handle emotional processing, and REM alone cannot repair the body. Together, they create a harmonious pattern, ensuring both mind and body wake refreshed. Disruptions like late-night alarms or inconsistent schedules can interrupt this rhythm, leaving deep sleep shortened or REM fragmented. Even small disturbances may impact the balance of the night, subtly affecting mood, memory, and energy levels. So when you sleep peacefully through the night, your brain is dancing between these stages, alternating focus, and orchestrating a perfect balance of restoration. Your brain alternates its nightly performance, moving seamlessly between restoration and imagination. Fact 39. Disruptions can fragment your sleep architecture. Sleep architecture refers to the structure of your night, the sequence and balance of non-REM and REM stages. Disruptions, even brief ones, can fragment this architecture, affecting the quality of rest. A loud noise, a restless pet, or even stress can interrupt transitions between stages. You might wake momentarily or have lighter sleep than usual. These interruptions may be subtle, yet they can reduce deep sleep, shorten REM periods, and weaken memory consolidation. Even modern habits like late-night screen use or caffeine can affect sleep architecture. Your brain struggles to maintain its rhythm, and while you may fall asleep, the restorative processes don't function optimally. Fragmented sleep doesn't just make you tired. Over time, it can impact mood, focus, and immune function. That's why consistent routines, darkened rooms, and calming pre-sleep habits are critical. They protect the delicate structure your brain relies on. So tonight, every uninterrupted sleep stage is a victory for your brain, allowing deep repair, emotional processing, and proper dreaming to unfold naturally. Healthy sleep architecture is your brain's carefully arranged night, protecting restoration and dreams. Fact 40. Age changes the proportion of each sleep stage. Sleep isn't static across your lifetime. As you age, the proportion of deep restorative sleep and REM sleep gradually changes. Children and teens spend more time in slow-wave deep sleep, supporting growth and learning, while adults typically experience shorter periods of deep sleep. Older adults may notice lighter sleep, shorter REM periods, or more awakenings. This shift is natural and reflects changes in brain chemistry, circadian rhythms, and restorative needs. Even so, sleep continues to serve its vital functions: memory consolidation, emotional processing, and bodily repair. Understanding these changes can help you adjust routines. Daytime activity, consistent schedules, and relaxing pre-sleep habits become increasingly important for preserving sleep quality as years pass. So whether you're young or older, your brain is always adapting, balancing rest and dreams according to its changing needs. Age is simply your brain's way of adjusting the nightly story to match your life stage. Fact 41. Sleep consolidates short-term memory. Ever notice how a good night's sleep makes it easier to remember what you studied or experienced during the day? That's because sleep plays a crucial role in consolidating short-term memories into long-term storage. During the early part of the night, non-REM sleep, especially stage 2 with its sleep spindles and K-complexes, acts like a filing system. Your brain reviews the information gathered during the day, decides what's important, and strengthens those neural connections. Memories that aren't reinforced may fade, while meaningful details are preserved for future use. Interestingly, this process happens silently. You don't have to actively try to remember anything. Your brain quietly sorts, labels, and organizes while you rest. Even small naps can help reinforce memories by giving the brain a mini workshop to practice storing and connecting new information. Sleep also protects memories from interference. Without proper rest, it's easier to forget details, struggle with focus, or lose track of recent learning. That's why pulling all-nighters often backfires. Your brain simply didn't get a chance to consolidate what you learned. So tonight, as you drift off, your brain is carefully transforming short-term experiences into lasting memories. Every restful moment strengthens your ability to recall and understand what matters most. Sleep is your brain's personal archivist, quietly turning today's experiences into tomorrow's knowledge. Fact 42. Deep sleep strengthens physical skills. Have you ever practiced something all day, a sport, an instrument, or a new task, and noticed that you seem better at it the next morning? Deep sleep is responsible for much of that improvement. Stage 3, or slow wave sleep, is where physical repair and skill consolidation happen. Your brain replays sequences of movements and actions, reinforcing the neural pathways involved. Muscles recover, tissues repair, and connections between mind and body are strengthened. Interestingly, athletes and performers often rely on deep sleep to enhance performance. Missing sufficient deep sleep can make physical coordination sluggish, reaction times slower, and learning new skills less efficient. Even short disruptions in deep sleep reduce the quality of this reinforcement. This stage also releases growth hormone, helping repair the body while your mind quietly rehearses physical tasks. That's why a night of deep sleep can feel like an invisible training session, leaving you more prepared for challenges the next day. So tonight, as your body rests deeply, remember that every movement, skill, and effort is quietly being refined by the waves of sleep. Deep sleep is the silent coach, sharpening your body while you dream. Fact 43. REM sleep reinforces emotional memories. Dreams aren't just entertainment, they're essential for emotional processing. REM sleep is the stage where your brain reviews and consolidates emotional memories, helping you make sense of the day's experiences. During REM, fast, irregular brain waves mimic wakefulness, and the amygdala, your emotional center, becomes active. This allows the brain to process difficult or intense experiences safely, integrating them into your memory without overwhelming your conscious mind. Interestingly, REM also helps balance moods. People who get sufficient REM sleep often feel more resilient, emotionally stable, and better able to handle stress. The dreams themselves may seem random, but they're part of a structured process that organizes emotional learning. So the next time you wake from a vivid dream and feel an unexplainable sense of relief or insight, it may be your brain reinforcing emotional memories and preparing you for the day ahead. REM sleep is the mind's emotional workshop, quietly balancing the heart and memory while you rest. Fact 44. Naps can boost memory retention. Short naps aren't just restful breaks. They can significantly enhance memory and learning. Even a 20 to 40-minute nap allows your brain to enter lighter stages of sleep, reinforcing recent experiences and improving recall. During naps, sleep spindles help consolidate short-term memories, while theta waves prime the brain for creativity and problem-solving. Longer naps can even include REM sleep, offering emotional processing and imaginative rehearsal. Interestingly, timing matters. Early afternoon naps often align with the body's natural circadian dip, making them more restorative. Evening naps, however, can disrupt nighttime sleep, so the brain balances benefits with overall sleep schedules. Athletes, students, and professionals often use strategic napping to improve performance. It's like giving the brain a mini night of rest without losing productivity. So today, if you steal a quiet nap, your brain is quietly filing memories, strengthening skills, and refreshing emotional balance. A small but powerful investment in tomorrow. Naps are tiny night shifts for your brain, reinforcing memories one rest at a time. Fact 45. Dreams may help process complex problems. Have you ever solved a tricky problem in your sleep or woken with a fresh idea? Dreams, especially during REM sleep, can help process complex problems your conscious mind struggles with. In this stage, your brain forms connections between seemingly unrelated ideas. It practices scenarios, tests solutions, and explores creative possibilities. Even bizarre dreams often contain hidden logic, Your brain is experimenting without the constraints of daytime judgment. Interestingly, many scientists, artists, and inventors have credited dreams with breakthroughs. The brain's nighttime flexibility allows it to solve problems it might be stuck on during waking hours. Your mind is both playful and productive while you sleep. So tonight, as REM unfolds, your brain may be quietly working on questions, challenges, or puzzles, turning the night into a lab for creativity and insight. Dreams are the brain's secret problem-solving lab, working quietly while you rest. Fact 46. Sleep helps clear unnecessary memories. Have you ever wondered why you don't remember every single detail of your day? That's because sleep isn't just about storing memories, it's also about letting go. Your brain actively clears unnecessary or redundant information while you rest, keeping your mind focused on what truly matters. During non-REM sleep, especially stages 2 and 3, your neural circuits undergo a pruning process. Weak or irrelevant connections are downscaled, while important ones are reinforced. Think of it as decluttering your mental filing cabinet. Old notes are recycled, and valuable insights are preserved. Interestingly, this cleaning process doesn't just help memory efficiency. By removing irrelevant details, your brain prevents overload, improves learning capacity for the next day, and reduces mental fatigue. It's a bit like housekeeping for your neurons. So tonight, as you drift into sleep, your brain is quietly sorting, discarding, and optimizing. Without this nightly reset, your mind would become cluttered, making learning, creativity, and focus much harder. Sleep is your brain's cleanup crew, quietly discarding the unneeded to make room for the important. Fact 47. Brain cleanses toxins while you sleep. Sleep isn't just about rest, it's about detox. While you sleep, your brain activates the glymphatic system, a specialized network that flushes out waste products and harmful toxins accumulated during the day. This cleansing is most active during deep, slow-wave sleep. Cerebrospinal fluid circulates through the brain, washing away metabolic debris, including proteins linked to neurodegenerative diseases. In essence, sleep is like a nightly maintenance session that keeps your brain healthy and functioning optimally. Interestingly, this detox process can't happen as efficiently when you're awake. Extended sleep deprivation or disrupted deep sleep reduces waste clearance, potentially affecting cognitive performance and long-term brain health. So tonight, as you close your eyes, imagine your brain quietly washing away the mental clutter and cellular debris of the day, preparing you for a fresh start in the morning. Sleep is the brain's nightly janitor, clearing out toxins while you dream. Fact 48. Slow-wave sleep aids in learning new skills. Ever practiced a new skill only to feel better at it after a night's sleep? That's slow-wave sleep at work. Deep restorative sleep strengthens the neural pathways that underpin motor skills, reasoning, and problem-solving abilities. During this stage, delta waves dominate, signaling both rest and active consolidation. Your brain silently replays sequences of movement or thought, reinforcing connections and improving performance. Muscles recover, coordination sharpens, and the mind is primed to apply what it learned the day before. Interestingly, even brief disruptions to slow-wave sleep can reduce skill retention. That's why consistent, uninterrupted deep sleep is critical for anyone learning complex tasks, from musicians practicing scales to athletes mastering techniques. So tonight, as you settle into deep sleep, know that your brain is rehearsing and refining, making tomorrow's challenges a little easier to handle. Slow-wave sleep is your mind's quiet rehearsal stage, perfecting skills while you rest. Fact 49. Daytime learning affects nighttime brain activity. What you do during the day shapes how your brain sleeps at night. Learning new information, practicing skills, or engaging in mental challenges influences brain activity during sleep, particularly in stages where memory consolidation occurs. Neural networks that were active during the day tend to reactivate at night, a process that strengthens memory and improves understanding. Essentially, your brain continues the day's work while you rest, optimizing connections and retaining valuable knowledge. Interestingly, the more intense or complex your learning, the more your brain emphasizes related sleep activity. It's like a silent tutoring session happening while your eyes are closed, preparing you to recall information more efficiently the next day. So tonight, every problem you solved, every note you took, and every new experience will be revisited and reinforced during sleep. Daytime learning sets the stage for nighttime brain rehearsal, turning effort into lasting skill. Fact 50. Sleep loss impairs memory formation. Sleep is essential for storing new memories. When you miss sleep, your brain struggles to consolidate information, leaving you forgetful, unfocused, and mentally sluggish. Short-term recall suffers, and long-term retention can be weakened. Studies show that sleep-deprived individuals often perform worse on memory tests, struggle to learn new tasks, and experience reduced creativity. Even a single night of poor sleep can impact the brain's ability to form strong connections. Interestingly, memory impairment isn't just about forgetting, it's about efficiency. Your brain cannot optimize learning or problem-solving without proper sleep, making even simple tasks feel harder. So tonight, prioritizing rest isn't just about feeling refreshed. It's about giving your brain the chance to store, organize, and protect what you learned today. Sleep loss is memory's silent thief, stealing the connections your brain worked hard to create. Fact 51. Sleep reduces emotional reactivity. Ever notice how a good night's sleep makes stressful events feel more manageable? That's because sleep helps regulate your emotional responses, reducing reactivity and helping you stay balanced. During REM and deep sleep, the brain processes emotional experiences from the day, consolidating memories while separating feelings from intense reactions. The amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for fear and emotion, becomes less reactive after proper sleep, meaning you're less likely to overreact to challenges or frustration. Interestingly, studies show that well-rested individuals have stronger emotional control, making decisions with more clarity and responding to situations calmly. Sleep essentially gives your brain a reset button for emotions. So tonight, as you drift into deep and REM sleep, your mind is quietly smoothing emotional peaks, helping you approach tomorrow with composure and clarity. Sleep is the mind's emotional filter, softening reactions while you rest. Fact 52. Lack of sleep increases stress sensitivity. On the flip side, when you don't get enough sleep, your emotional armor weakens. Sleep deprivation amplifies stress responses, making minor irritations feel overwhelming and big challenges even harder to face. Without proper sleep, the amygdala becomes more reactive, and the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that regulates judgment and self-control, becomes less effective. This imbalance leads to heightened emotional sensitivity and difficulty managing stress. Even routine tasks can feel taxing. Interestingly, chronic sleep loss doesn't just affect mood, it also impacts your physical stress systems, increasing cortisol levels and triggering a cascade of physiological responses that keep the body on edge. So tonight, prioritizing sleep isn't just about rest. It's a safeguard against tomorrow's stress, a chance for your brain to recalibrate and protect your emotional stability. Sleep is your shield against heightened stress, quietly restoring balance overnight. Fact 53. REM sleep supports creativity. Ever had an aha moment after a good night's sleep? REM sleep plays a starring role in creativity. During this stage, the brain forms unusual connections between ideas, explores novel possibilities, and experiments with problem solving. Fast, irregular brain waves in REM mimic wakefulness, allowing your mind to combine memories, emotions, and abstract thoughts in unexpected ways. Dreams often reflect this process, showing bizarre or fantastical scenarios that can inspire real-life creativity. Interestingly, artists, writers, and scientists often report breakthroughs after sleep, not in long hours of work. Your brain uses REM to rehearse, reorganize, and innovate while the body rests. So tonight, as REM stretches and dreams unfold, your mind may be quietly connecting dots you hadn't even noticed yet, preparing you for tomorrow's spark of inspiration. REM sleep is the mind's creativity lab, crafting new ideas while you dream. Fact 54. Dreams may help resolve emotional conflicts. Dreams aren't just random images. They can serve as a safe space to process unresolved emotions or conflicts. During REM sleep, your brain simulates scenarios that allow you to work through feelings, anxieties, or experiences without the pressures of the waking world. This nocturnal problem-solving helps reduce emotional tension. Conflicts or worries that seem overwhelming during the day may be approached more calmly or understood differently after dreaming. Your brain is essentially running experiments, testing outcomes, and offering insights while you rest. Interestingly, dream content often reflects emotional processing rather than literal events. Symbols, scenarios, and storylines can represent challenges or feelings that your conscious mind struggles to articulate. So tonight your dreams may be quietly helping you navigate the tangled web of emotions, offering subtle guidance and resolution. Dreams are the brain's gentle counselor, untangling emotions while you sleep. Fact 55. Anxiety affects sleep latency. Ever lie in bed staring at the ceiling, heart racing and thoughts spinning? That's anxiety affecting sleep latency, the time it takes to fall asleep. High stress or worry can delay the transition from wakefulness to sleep, keeping the mind alert when the body craves rest. During anxious states, stress hormones like cortisol remain elevated, and brain waves stay in higher frequencies, making it difficult to enter light or deep sleep stages. This can create a cycle where poor sleep increases anxiety, and anxiety further delays sleep. Interestingly, calming routines, meditation, and deep breathing can help reduce sleep latency, gently lowering brain activity and signaling the body that it's safe to rest. Even small interventions can make a noticeable difference in falling asleep faster. So tonight, if worries linger, know that your brain can gradually slow down, allowing sleep to arrive naturally and restore both mind and body. Anxiety is a temporary gatekeeper, but with rest, your brain will quietly guide you into sleep. Fact 56. Serotonin from sleep improves mood regulation. Sleep isn't just rest, it's a reset button for your mood. During sleep, the brain regulates key neurotransmitters like serotonin, which play a major role in emotional balance. Proper serotonin levels help you feel calmer, more focused, and resilient to daily stress. Interestingly, most of this regulation happens during non-REM sleep. Stage 2 and deep sleep allow serotonin to balance neural circuits, preparing the brain for a stable, well-regulated emotional response the next day. Without it, mood swings can be more intense, and small annoyances may feel magnified. This is why a night of consistent sleep often makes challenges easier to handle. The mind is essentially refueling its emotional toolkit while the body rests. Serotonin released during sleep also works with other systems, like circadian rhythms and hormone regulation, to maintain overall mental well-being. So tonight, as your brain drifts through sleep stages, serotonin quietly helps maintain harmony in your mood, preparing you for a calmer, more balanced day. Sleep is the mind's emotional stabilizer, releasing serotonin to smooth the highs and lows of life. Fact 57. Insufficient sleep increases irritability. When you don't get enough rest, the world can feel harsher than it really is. Sleep deprivation makes the brain more sensitive to minor annoyances and increases irritability, often leaving people snapping at situations or overreacting to simple frustrations. During sleep, the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for judgment and self-control, works alongside emotional centers to keep reactions in check. Without proper rest, this control weakens, leaving the amygdala more reactive and emotions less manageable. Interestingly, irritability caused by sleep loss isn't just psychological, it also affects physical responses. Heart rate variability decreases, stress hormones spike, and even simple cognitive tasks become more frustrating. In other words, sleep deprivation primes both mind and body for a more reactive day. So tonight, prioritizing rest isn't just about feeling alert, it's about preventing unnecessary emotional tension and maintaining composure. Lack of sleep is like removing your emotional buffer, leaving irritability unchecked until the mind rests again. Fact 58. Emotional memories are processed differently in sleep. Not all memories are treated the same by your brain. Emotional memories, in particular, receive special attention during sleep. REM sleep allows the brain to replay experiences while regulating the intensity of the associated feelings, making them easier to understand and manage. This process helps you integrate emotional events safely. Fear, sadness, joy, or excitement from the day are consolidated into long-term memory without overwhelming your conscious mind. It's as if sleep acts like a mood editor, keeping the story but toning down the intensity of feelings. Interestingly, this selective processing means that even intense experiences can feel less stressful after a good night's sleep. Emotional learning is preserved while anxiety is reduced, preparing the mind for better coping the next day. So tonight, as your mind moves through REM, It's carefully organizing emotions and memories, helping you wake with a calmer perspective. Sleep is the brain's emotional editor, storing memories while softening their emotional weight. Fact 59. Sleep restores balance between fear and reward systems. Your brain has two sides that guide behavior: the fear system and the reward system. Sleep is essential for keeping these systems in balance. During REM and deep sleep, the brain evaluates experiences, adjusts risk responses, and strengthens decision-making pathways. When well rested, you're better able to weigh consequences and rewards accurately. You can approach challenges without overreacting to fear or impulsively chasing short-term rewards. Sleep deprivation, on the other hand, can make the fear system overly sensitive or the reward system too dominant, skewing choices. Interestingly, this balancing act also affects learning and social interactions. The brain subtly rehearses outcomes and evaluates experiences, ensuring behavior is guided by thoughtful processing rather than emotional extremes. So tonight, your sleep quietly calibrates your internal systems, preparing you to respond to the world with measured, balanced reactions. Sleep is your brain's internal scale, keeping fear and reward in perfect harmony. Fact 60. Sleep helps maintain empathy and social awareness. Beyond memory and mood, sleep plays a role in social intelligence. Well-rested individuals are better at understanding others' emotions, showing empathy, and interpreting social cues. This is partly because sleep restores the brain regions involved in perspective-taking and emotional recognition. When sleep is insufficient, it's harder to read faces, understand intentions, or respond appropriately in social situations. Emotional processing slows, and misinterpretations become more likely. That's why a lack of sleep can make even familiar interactions feel stressful or frustrating. Interestingly, dreaming also contributes indirectly. REM sleep rehearses social scenarios and emotional responses, giving the brain practice in navigating relationships even while you rest. So tonight, sleep isn't just healing your body or mind. It's quietly refining your ability to connect with others, ensuring empathy and social awareness remain sharp. Sleep is the brain's social trainer, keeping empathy and awareness finely tuned while you rest. Fact 61. Light in the evening delays melatonin release. Have you ever stayed up late scrolling on your phone or working under bright lights, only to find it hard to fall asleep? That's because light in the evening delays the release of melatonin, the hormone that signals your brain it's time to rest. Melatonin naturally rises when darkness falls, preparing your body for sleep. But exposure to bright lights, especially in the evening, can trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime. Your internal clock gets confused, making it harder to feel sleepy and delaying the onset of rest. Interestingly, even household lighting can have an effect. The brain is sensitive to brightness and certain wavelengths, so simple adjustments, like dimming lights or avoiding screens before bed, can make a noticeable difference in how quickly sleep arrives. So tonight, as you wind down, lowering evening light is a gentle way to tell your brain it's time to transition from alertness to rest. Evening light is a subtle saboteur of sleep, and dimming it invites your brain to relax naturally. Fact 62. Blue light suppresses sleep hormones. Blue light, the high-energy light emitted by phones, tablets, and computer screens, has a surprising effect on your brain. It suppresses melatonin production. This means your body's natural signal to sleep is delayed, making falling asleep more difficult. Our brains are wired to respond strongly to blue wavelengths, because sunlight contains plenty of them. During the day, blue light keeps us alert and awake. But exposure in the evening confuses the system, telling the brain it's still daytime, and sleep hormones are held back. Interestingly, this explains why late-night screen use often leads to groggy mornings. Even if you feel tired, your body hasn't received the chemical signals it needs to drift into restorative sleep. Using night mode on devices or avoiding screens before bed can help your brain reset. So tonight, protecting your eyes from blue light is a small but powerful step toward letting sleep arrive naturally. Blue light is a modern sleep thief, delaying the hormone your brain needs to rest. Fact 63. Darkness triggers melatonin production. The flip side of light exposure is darkness. When night falls, your brain senses the fading light and signals the pineal gland to release melatonin. This hormone gently lowers alertness, slows metabolism, and prepares your body for sleep. Even subtle darkness cues are enough to trigger this response. Closing curtains, dimming lamps, or simply removing harsh lights tells your brain it's safe to rest. The body naturally associates darkness with the need for recovery and repair, helping maintain a consistent sleep-wake rhythm. Interestingly, melatonin not only promotes sleepiness, but also helps regulate circadian rhythms, keeping your internal clock aligned with day and night. Without this cue, sleep timing can drift, leaving you tired at unusual hours. So tonight, allowing darkness to fill your space gives your brain the green light to release sleep signals, guiding you into rest naturally. Darkness is the brain's gentle nudge, whispering that it's time to drift off. Fact 64. Jet lag disrupts circadian synchronization. Traveling across time zones often leaves you groggy, irritable, and awake at odd hours. Classic jet lag. This happens because your circadian rhythms, your internal clock that regulates sleep-wake cycles, are suddenly out of sync with the local day-night schedule. Your brain expects darkness and light at familiar times. When that schedule shifts rapidly, melatonin release, body temperature, and alertness signals fall out of alignment. The result? Sleep comes too early or too late, leaving your mind and body struggling to adapt. Interestingly, your brain gradually resets, typically at a rate of 1 hour per day for each time zone crossed. Light exposure at strategic times, sleep timing adjustments, and short naps can help the brain resynchronize more efficiently. So next time you cross multiple time zones, remember that your sleep system is simply recalibrating. It just needs a little time and guidance. Jet lag is your brain's internal clock readjusting, slowly syncing with a new rhythm of day and night. Fact 65. Meal timing can shift your internal clock. It's not just light that influences your circadian rhythm. When you eat also matters. Meal timing sends signals to your brain and body about the day-night cycle, influencing metabolism, alertness, and sleep readiness. Eating late at night can delay sleep onset, as your digestive system keeps working and your body remains alert. Conversely, consistent meal times help synchronize your internal clock, reinforcing natural sleep and wake patterns. Interestingly, research shows that timing meals earlier in the evening supports melatonin production and improves sleep quality. Your brain interprets regular meal schedules as part of the daily rhythm, alongside light cues and activity levels. So tonight, mindful meal timing can gently guide your brain, signaling when it's time to wind down and allowing sleep to arrive smoothly. Meal timing is a quiet cue for your internal clock, guiding the rhythm of rest and wakefulness. Fact 66. Social schedules can alter natural sleep cycles. Have you ever noticed that your sleep patterns feel different on weekends versus weekdays? Social schedules, work hours, school routines, or social commitments can shift your natural sleep cycles, sometimes creating what's called social jet lag. Your brain has an internal clock, tuned by circadian rhythms, that naturally signals when to sleep and wake. But if your schedule forces you to wake earlier than your body expects, sleep stages may be cut short, leaving you tired or groggy. On weekends, you might sleep in to compensate, which further shifts your internal rhythm. Interestingly, even small changes in routine can affect sleep quality. Regular schedules allow your brain to anticipate rest and recovery, while irregular ones confuse circadian timing, making it harder to fall asleep and wake naturally. So tonight, sticking to a consistent bedtime and wake time, even on off days, helps your brain maintain a rhythm that supports both alertness and restorative sleep. Social schedules are gentle nudges to your brain's natural clock. Respecting them keeps your internal rhythm steady. Fact 67. Morning sunlight strengthens wakefulness. There's a reason early sunlight feels invigorating. Exposure to natural light in the morning helps reset your internal clock and reinforces wakefulness. The brain senses the brightness, suppressing melatonin and boosting alertness for the day ahead. Even just a few minutes outside can improve focus, mood, and energy levels. Sunlight helps regulate circadian rhythms, signaling to your body that it's time to be active and establishing a predictable pattern for sleep later. Interestingly, people who miss morning light, especially in winter or during indoor-heavy routines, often experience delayed sleep onset at night. The brain's timing signals rely heavily on light cues, making daylight exposure an essential anchor. So tomorrow morning, even a short walk in sunlight can help your brain feel fully awake and guide smoother sleep cycles for the night ahead. Morning light is the brain's natural alarm clock, activating wakefulness and preparing your rhythm for the day. Fact 68. Shift work can permanently alter circadian rhythms. Working night shifts or rotating schedules doesn't just make you sleepy, it can permanently alter circadian rhythms. The brain's internal clock struggles to adapt to irregular hours, and over time, patterns of sleep, hormone release, and alertness can shift in unexpected ways. Shift workers often experience disrupted melatonin production, fragmented sleep, and increased fatigue. Even on days off, the internal clock may remain misaligned, making mornings feel groggy and nights unusually alert. Interestingly, this long-term shift can affect more than sleep. Appetite, metabolism, and emotional regulation also rely on circadian cues, meaning irregular work schedules have a wide-reaching impact on overall health. So if you work odd hours, your brain is continuously trying to adapt. A reminder that supporting sleep with consistent routines, light exposure, and rest strategies is essential. Shift work challenges your brain's natural timing, and adaptation requires conscious support for restful sleep. Fact 69. Brain clock genes regulate sleep timing. Deep within your cells, clock genes act as molecular timekeepers, regulating when you feel alert or sleepy. These genes produce proteins that rise and fall in cycles, signaling the brain to follow circadian rhythms and maintain consistent sleep patterns. Clock genes influence everything from hormone release to body temperature and alertness, creating a predictable rhythm that guides your sleep-wake cycle. Variations in these genes explain why some people are naturally early risers while others thrive at night. Interestingly, these genetic signals interact with environmental cues like light, meals, and activity. Even if your genes favor late nights, exposure to sunlight and consistent routines can help align your sleep with daily schedules. So tonight, as your brain follows the rhythm set by clock genes, you're experiencing a precise molecular timing system working quietly behind the scenes. Clock genes are the brain's internal conductors, orchestrating the timing of sleep and wakefulness with remarkable precision. Fact 70. Naps affect circadian rhythm depending on timing. A quick nap can be refreshing, but timing matters. Naps too late in the day can confuse your internal clock, delaying nighttime sleep and affecting circadian rhythms. Short, early afternoon naps are usually ideal, boosting alertness without interfering with night sleep. During a well-timed nap, the brain can enter light or even slow-wave sleep, consolidating memories and improving mood. But late naps risk extending wakefulness into the evening, suppressing melatonin release and making it harder to fall asleep. Interestingly, even brief naps interact with circadian cues, signaling to your brain that part of the day is for rest. The key is consistency. Regular nap times help maintain balance rather than disrupt it. So tonight, if you napped earlier, your brain is already benefiting from restorative processes. If it's late, don't worry. Sleep will eventually guide the rhythm back on track. Naps are mini reset buttons for the brain, helpful when timed right, but disruptive when misaligned. Fact 71. Thalamus relays sensory signals during sleep. Even while you're asleep, your brain isn't completely shut off. The thalamus, a central relay hub, continues to monitor sensory information and decide what should wake you and what can be ignored. A creaking floorboard, the buzz of your phone, or a sudden temperature change can pass through the thalamus, which filters what's important for your attention. Interestingly, during deep non-REM sleep, the thalamus acts as a gatekeeper, reducing responsiveness to outside stimuli. This allows your brain to maintain restorative processes without constant interruptions. But during lighter stages of sleep or REM, it becomes more alert, ready to relay signals that might need a response. This balance explains why you can sleep through gentle noise but awaken instantly to something unusual. Your thalamus is effectively protecting sleep while keeping you connected to the environment when necessary. So tonight, as you drift into rest, your thalamus is quietly at work, deciding which signals matter and which ones can be safely ignored. The thalamus is your sleep's vigilant gatekeeper, filtering the world while you rest. Fact 72. Brainstem triggers REM cycles. REM sleep, the stage where dreaming occurs, is orchestrated by the brainstem. This area sends signals to start and maintain REM cycles. controlling rapid eye movements, irregular heart rate, and vivid dream activity. During REM, the brainstem also communicates with other regions, like the thalamus and limbic system, ensuring that the dreaming brain is active while the body remains largely paralyzed, a safety mechanism preventing physical acting out of dreams. Interestingly, the timing and intensity of REM cycles are influenced by prior sleep, stress, and daily experiences. The brainstem coordinates all of this seamlessly, maintaining the rhythm and quality of REM sleep throughout the night. So tonight, when your dreams come alive, your brainstem is quietly guiding the performance behind the scenes, keeping both mind and body in sync. The brainstem is the master conductor of REM, orchestrating dreams while your body rests safely. Fact 73. Amygdala processes dreams with emotion. Ever wake from a dream feeling intense fear, joy, or sadness? That's your amygdala at work. This almond-shaped brain region specializes in processing emotions, and during REM sleep it becomes highly active, infusing your dreams with emotional depth. Interestingly, the amygdala helps the brain process unresolved feelings from the day. By simulating emotionally charged scenarios in dreams, it allows the mind to work through reactions in a safe, controlled environment. This is why stressful or exciting days often lead to vivid dreams, even though the prefrontal cortex, which normally regulates impulses, is quiet during REM. The amygdala's heightened activity ensures emotions are explored, integrated, and sometimes tamed. So tonight, your emotional brain may be replaying experiences and balancing feelings, helping you wake with better emotional clarity. The amygdala is your dream's emotional engine, coloring experiences while you sleep. Fact 74. Prefrontal cortex quiets during deep sleep. While other parts of the brain are active during sleep, the prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making, judgment, and self-control, quiets down, especially in REM and deep sleep stages. This reduction in activity explains why dreams can be bizarre, illogical, or emotionally exaggerated. Interestingly, the quieting of the prefrontal cortex allows other regions, like the amygdala and hippocampus, to work without interference. Emotional processing, memory consolidation, and creative problem-solving all happen more freely when this executive control center takes a rest. This temporary pause in rational thinking during sleep is actually beneficial. It lets the brain integrate experiences, solve problems creatively, and process emotions in ways that would be constrained during wakefulness. So tonight, as the prefrontal cortex rests, your brain is quietly untangling thoughts and emotions, preparing you for a sharper, more balanced mind in the morning. The prefrontal cortex is the brain's quiet observer, letting sleep and dreams work their magic. Fact 75. Hippocampus stores memory traces while you rest. The hippocampus, the brain's memory hub, is hard at work even while you sleep. It takes the day's experiences and converts them into lasting memories, transferring short-term information into long-term storage. During non-REM and slow-wave sleep, the hippocampus replays neural activity related to learning and experiences. This rehearsal strengthens connections and integrates new knowledge with existing memories. It's like the brain is filing important details in the right folders, ready to be recalled when needed. Interestingly, without adequate sleep, this process falters. Forgetting increases, and the ability to form new memories diminishes. Sleep isn't just passive rest, it's active memory maintenance. So tonight, as you rest, the hippocampus is quietly organizing, replaying, and storing the day's moments, ensuring that tomorrow you can remember what truly matters. The hippocampus is the brain's nighttime archivist, safeguarding memories while you sleep. Fact 76. Basal forebrain promotes non-REM sleep. Even as you drift off, certain brain regions are quietly steering the process. The basal forebrain plays a central role in promoting non-REM sleep, helping the brain slow down, relax, and enter restorative stages. This area releases neurotransmitters like GABA, which quiet overactive neurons, allowing the brain to reduce alertness and transition smoothly from wakefulness into light and deep sleep. It's like the brain's own dimmer switch, gradually lowering mental activity for rest. Interestingly, the basal forebrain also helps regulate sleep intensity. A well-functioning basal forebrain ensures longer, deeper non-REM periods, which are essential for physical recovery, learning, and memory consolidation. When this system is disrupted, sleep quality drops, leaving you groggy and unfocused. So tonight, as you close your eyes, the basal forebrain is quietly guiding the shift from active thinking to restorative rest. The basal forebrain is your sleep's gentle usher, leading the mind into calm, restorative non-REM stages. Fact 77. Reticular formation filters arousal signals. Even during sleep, your brain is selectively aware of the outside world. The reticular formation, a network of neurons in the brainstem, acts as a filter for arousal signals, deciding which stimuli can wake you and which can safely be ignored. During deep sleep, the reticular formation reduces the flow of sensory input, preventing minor noises or disturbances from interrupting rest. But if a significant event occurs, like an alarm or a sudden loud sound, it transmits the signal to wake the brain quickly. Interestingly, this filtering system is why you can sleep through gentle snoring or distant traffic, yet wake instantly to your phone's ringtone. It's an essential mechanism for balancing safety and restorative sleep. So tonight, as you rest, your reticular formation is quietly working to maintain calm while keeping a watchful eye on the environment. The reticular formation is the brain's guardian, filtering the world while you sleep. Fact 78. Ventrolateral preoptic nucleus initiates sleep. The ventrolateral preoptic nucleus, or VLPO, is a tiny but mighty part of the hypothalamus responsible for starting sleep. It releases inhibitory signals that suppress wakefulness-promoting neurons, gently nudging the brain into non-REM sleep. This initiation is essential for creating a smooth transition from alertness to rest. When the VLPO functions properly, falling asleep is easier, and deeper sleep cycles are more consistent. When it's disrupted, insomnia or difficulty maintaining sleep can occur. Interestingly, the VLPO works closely with other sleep-related regions like the basal forebrain and hypothalamus to ensure sleep begins and continues efficiently. It's the starting point for the nightly restorative journey your brain undergoes. So tonight, as you begin to drift off, the VLPO is quietly flipping the switch that allows sleep to take over. The VLPO is the brain's gentle starter, turning wakefulness into restful sleep. Fact 79. Locus coeruleus controls alertness suppression. While other brain regions promote sleep, the locus coeruleus ensures alertness is suppressed when it's time to rest. Located in the brainstem, this area reduces norepinephrine activity during non-REM and REM sleep, helping the brain shift from wakefulness into quiet rest. Interestingly, the locus coeruleus also helps regulate sleep stability. If it remains overactive, sleep can be fragmented, leading to frequent awakenings and lighter rest. When it functions properly, it allows uninterrupted cycles, giving both mind and body the chance to recover fully. So tonight, as you sink into slumber, the locus coeruleus is quietly calming the brain, suppressing alertness so that deep and REM sleep can proceed undisturbed. The locus coeruleus is the brain's dimmer for alertness, ensuring calm and uninterrupted sleep. Fact 80. Hypothalamic neurons respond to light-dark cycles. Your hypothalamus contains neurons that detect environmental light and darkness, helping align your internal clock with day-night cycles. These neurons influence melatonin release, alertness, and sleep timing, keeping your circadian rhythm in sync with the world around you. Interestingly, even small changes in light exposure can shift these neurons' activity. Morning sunlight strengthens wakefulness, while evening darkness signals the body to prepare for sleep. Disruptions, like artificial lighting or irregular schedules, can confuse these signals, delaying sleep onset. So tonight, as darkness falls, your hypothalamic neurons are quietly adjusting brain chemistry, preparing your mind and body for restorative sleep. Hypothalamic neurons are your internal light sensors, guiding the brain's rhythm in harmony with day and night. Fact 81. Sleep strengthens the immune system. Did you know that a good night's sleep is one of the best ways to protect your body from illness? While you rest, your brain and body are hard at work boosting the immune system. Sleep stimulates the production of immune cells and signaling proteins, like cytokines, which help fight infection and inflammation. Interestingly, even short-term sleep deprivation can reduce the body's ability to respond to pathogens, making you more vulnerable to colds and other illnesses. Consistent quality sleep supports the immune system's efficiency, helping it respond faster and more effectively to challenges. So tonight, as you drift into deep sleep, your body is quietly strengthening its defenses, preparing you to face the day ahead. Sleep is your body's natural shield, fortifying the immune system while you rest. Fact 82. Brain removes waste more efficiently during sleep. Sleep isn't just restorative for thoughts and emotions, it's a time when the brain cleanses itself. The glymphatic system becomes more active, flushing out waste products and toxins that accumulate during the day. This includes proteins linked to neurodegenerative conditions, making sleep critical for long-term brain health. Interestingly, this cleansing is far more efficient during deep sleep than while awake. Cerebrospinal fluid circulates through the brain, removing debris and preventing it from building up. Without sufficient sleep, this process slows, which can impact memory, focus, and overall cognitive function. So tonight, as you rest, your brain is quietly taking out the trash, ensuring your mind stays clear and efficient tomorrow. Sleep is the brain's janitorial service, sweeping away the day's build-up while you dream. Fact 83. Sleep supports heart health. Your heart gets a nightly workout of its own, in a good way. During sleep, particularly deep non-REM stages, heart rate slows, blood vessels relax, and blood pressure drops. This period of rest allows the cardiovascular system to recover and reduces stress on the heart over time. Interestingly, poor or insufficient sleep can increase the risk of heart problems, including hypertension and arrhythmias. Quality sleep gives the heart a chance to reset, maintaining healthy rhythms and supporting long-term cardiovascular function. So tonight, as your body rests, your heart is quietly taking a breather, repairing and strengthening itself for the day ahead. Sleep is the heart's nightly repair session, keeping its rhythm steady and strong. Fact 84. Blood pressure drops during deep sleep. During deep sleep, your body enjoys one of its most restorative states. Blood pressure naturally drops, giving your arteries and heart a break from daytime stress. This lowering of pressure reduces strain on the cardiovascular system and supports overall health. Interestingly, disruptions to deep sleep, like insomnia or frequent awakenings, prevent this drop from happening consistently, which can contribute to long-term heart and vascular issues. Deep sleep acts like a nightly maintenance period, giving the circulatory system a much-needed pause. So tonight, as your body moves through deep sleep stages, your blood vessels are quietly relaxing, lowering pressure, and giving your heart a moment of rest. Deep sleep is the body's pressure release valve, letting the heart and arteries rest overnight. Fact 85. Sleep affects hormone regulation. Sleep is a master regulator of hormones. From growth hormone release to cortisol management, your body relies on consistent sleep to keep chemical messengers in balance. These hormones influence metabolism, stress response, appetite, and even mood. Interestingly, disruptions in sleep can throw hormones out of sync. High cortisol from poor sleep can increase stress and appetite, while reduced growth hormone can slow repair and recovery. Sleep acts as a natural regulator, coordinating hormone release in harmony with your circadian rhythm. So tonight, as you drift into sleep cycles, your body is quietly balancing hormones, preparing both mind and body to function optimally tomorrow. Sleep is the body's chemical conductor, orchestrating hormones to maintain balance and well-being. Fact 86. Lack of sleep contributes to weight gain. Ever notice how skipping sleep can make you crave snacks or feel hungrier than usual? That's because sleep directly affects hormones that regulate appetite. Ghrelin, which stimulates hunger, rises with sleep deprivation, while leptin, the hormone that signals fullness, drops. Without sufficient rest, your brain encourages calorie intake, making high-energy foods more appealing. Over time, this imbalance contributes to weight gain and metabolic changes, even if your diet otherwise seems normal. Interestingly, poor sleep also slows metabolism and reduces the body's ability to process sugar efficiently. It's like your brain and body are out of sync, pushing for energy at the wrong times. So tonight, prioritizing rest isn't just about feeling alert. It's a key part of maintaining a healthy weight and metabolism. Sleep is your body's natural regulator, keeping hunger and energy in check while you rest. Fact 87. Brain restores energy reserves during sleep. Sleep is the ultimate recharge for the brain. While you rest, neurons replenish energy stores, repairing and restoring the chemicals that fuel daily thinking, focus, and memory. Interestingly, during deep sleep, glucose metabolism in the brain adjusts, ensuring that energy is allocated efficiently for important processes like learning, memory consolidation, and emotional regulation. Sleep literally refills your mental battery. Without enough rest, your brain struggles to maintain alertness, problem-solving skills, and emotional control. Fatigue isn't just a feeling, it reflects depleted neural energy. So tonight, as you drift off, your brain is quietly refueling its neurons, preparing you to wake refreshed, focused, and ready to tackle the day. Sleep is the brain's hidden charging station, replenishing energy reserves while you dream. Fact 88. Sleep affects insulin sensitivity. Your body's ability to regulate blood sugar is deeply connected to sleep. Insulin sensitivity, how efficiently your cells respond to insulin, improves during adequate rest. Lack of sleep, on the other hand, can reduce insulin sensitivity, increasing the risk of blood sugar imbalances. Interestingly, even a single night of poor sleep can cause subtle changes in glucose regulation, while chronic sleep loss can contribute to long-term metabolic issues. Sleep allows the body to maintain energy balance, preventing spikes and crashes in blood sugar. So tonight, resting fully isn't just about feeling alert. It's giving your body the time to maintain healthy sugar levels and metabolic balance. Sleep is your body's natural regulator of sugar, keeping energy and metabolism steady overnight. Fact 89. Chronic sleep loss can damage neurons. Sleep isn't just restorative, it's protective. Chronic sleep deprivation increases stress on neurons, slowing repair, and sometimes causing cellular damage. Over time, this can affect memory, learning, and even cognitive longevity. During deep and REM sleep, the brain removes waste and restores neural connections, maintaining healthy communication between neurons. Missing sleep repeatedly disrupts these processes, making neurons vulnerable to stress and reduced function. Interestingly, protecting sleep can help maintain neural health and prevent long-term decline. It's a quiet yet essential process for the brain's resilience. So tonight, as you settle into sleep cycles, your neurons are safely repairing, preparing your mind for clarity and mental sharpness tomorrow. Sleep is the brain's protective shield, repairing neurons and preserving cognitive health. Fact 90. Proper sleep supports longevity. It's not just about feeling good tomorrow. Consistent sleep can extend your life. Quality sleep strengthens immunity, repairs cells, balances hormones, and protects the brain and heart, all of which contribute to overall longevity. Interestingly, studies show that people who regularly sleep the recommended hours live healthier lives. While chronic sleep deprivation is linked to a higher risk of heart disease, cognitive decline, and metabolic issues, sleep allows the body to maintain resilience and recover from daily stresses. So tonight, as you rest, your body is quietly performing the nightly maintenance that supports a long, healthy life. Sleep is the body's secret fountain of youth, quietly repairing and renewing to extend life. Fact 91. Sleepwalking occurs during deep sleep. Sleepwalking is one of the brain's quirks during deep non-REM sleep. Even though the body is mostly at rest, certain motor pathways can become active, allowing someone to walk, talk, or perform simple actions without conscious awareness. Interestingly, the brain areas responsible for decision-making and awareness, like the prefrontal cortex, are mostly quiet during deep sleep. Meanwhile, motor control regions remain active enough for movement, which explains why sleepwalking can look surprisingly coordinated yet completely automatic. Triggers vary. Sleep deprivation, stress, or disrupted sleep cycles can increase the likelihood of sleepwalking. Despite the physical activity, the person usually has no memory of the event upon waking. So tonight, as deep sleep envelops you, know that while your body rests, small motor pathways can sometimes wander, guided by the subconscious mind. Sleepwalking is the brain's quiet wanderer, moving the body while awareness takes a back seat. Fact 92. Sleep talking reveals fragments of memory. Sleep talking might make you chuckle or even worry, but it's actually a peek into the brain at work. During light non-REM or REM sleep, fragments of recent experiences or memories can emerge in speech, sometimes coherent, sometimes completely nonsensical. Interestingly, sleep talking isn't usually linked to the content of dreams, but rather to neural activity in language and memory regions. Your brain might rehearse words, emotions, or conversations, letting them spill out vocally without conscious control. It's more common in children and young adults, though anyone can do it. Stress, sleep deprivation, or illness can increase its frequency. Most of the time, it's harmless, just a glimpse into the brain's nightly processing. So tonight, if a word or phrase slips out in sleep, it's your brain softly rehearsing memories while you rest. Sleep talking is the mind whispering fragments of memory, audible yet unconsciously expressed. Fact 93. Nightmares activate the amygdala. Nightmares aren't just frightening, they're intense emotional processing. The amygdala, the brain's emotional center, becomes highly active during these dreams, heightening fear, anxiety, or stress responses even while you sleep. Interestingly, the prefrontal cortex remains subdued, which explains why nightmares often feel vivid and uncontrollable. Your brain is exploring unresolved emotions or threats in a safe, simulated environment, allowing you to process them without real-world consequences. Stress, trauma, or irregular sleep patterns can increase nightmare frequency. While unsettling, these dreams play a role in emotional regulation and memory processing. So tonight, if a nightmare stirs, it's your emotional brain rehearsing and resolving intense feelings, quietly working toward balance. Nightmares are the brain's emotional simulations, intense yet ultimately part of nightly processing. Fact 94. Lucid dreaming engages prefrontal cortex. Lucid dreaming is fascinating because, unlike most dreams, it engages the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for logic, awareness, and decision-making. In these dreams, you can realize you're dreaming and even influence the dream's narrative. Interestingly, lucid dreaming blends creativity from REM sleep with rational control from the prefrontal cortex, creating a hybrid state where imagination and awareness coexist. Some people practice techniques to induce lucid dreams, enhancing problem-solving, creativity, or simply enjoying the experience. So tonight, while most dreams wander freely, your brain occasionally allows a lucid moment, giving you awareness and choice within the dream world. Lucid dreaming is the mind's conscious adventure, where awareness and imagination meet in sleep. Fact 95. Hypnagogic hallucinations occur at sleep onset. That brief, sometimes startling moment when your mind conjures images, sounds, or sensations while drifting off is called a hypnagogic hallucination. These occur at the transition between wakefulness and sleep, as the brain shifts into early non-REM stages. Interestingly, the brain is partly awake and partly asleep during this phase, allowing fragments of perception and memory to mix with imagination. This can create vivid, sometimes bizarre experiences, seeing shapes, hearing voices, or sensing movement. Most people experience them occasionally, and they're harmless, though they can be startling. They reflect the brain's fluid state at the threshold of sleep, blending reality and imagination for a brief moment. So tonight, as you begin to drift off, don't be surprised if your mind briefly paints a fantastical scene. It's just part of the sleep transition. Hypnagogic hallucinations are the brain's twilight theatre, a fleeting show before sleep fully takes over. Fact 96. Sleep paralysis happens during REM transition. Sleep paralysis is one of the brain's most mysterious sleep phenomena. It occurs during transitions into or out of REM sleep, when the body remains temporarily paralyzed while the mind becomes aware. This mechanism normally prevents you from acting out dreams physically. Interestingly, during sleep paralysis, the prefrontal cortex may be partially awake while motor neurons are still suppressed. This creates the eerie sensation of being conscious yet unable to move. Hallucinations or a feeling of pressure on the chest often accompany the experience, making it feel more intense than it actually is. Despite the frightening sensation, sleep paralysis is harmless and short-lived. Stress, sleep deprivation, or irregular schedules can increase its frequency. Understanding that it's a natural part of REM sleep can reduce anxiety when it happens. So tonight, if a brief moment of immobility occurs while drifting off, remember it's just your brain's safety system in action. Sleep paralysis is the brain's pause button, keeping your body safe while your mind briefly wakes. Fact 97. Brain can generate dreams from recent experiences. Your dreams are like a nightly remix of the day's events. The brain takes fragments of recent experiences, thoughts, and emotions, and weaves them into vivid, sometimes surprising scenarios during REM sleep. Interestingly, this process isn't just random. The hippocampus and amygdala collaborate to integrate memories and emotions, helping you process the day and consolidate learning. Even small, seemingly insignificant events can appear in dreams, sometimes exaggerated or combined with other memories. This is why a conversation you had, a show you watched, or a fleeting thought can resurface in unexpected ways during sleep. The brain is actively making sense of life while you rest. So tonight, your dreams may replay moments of the day in creative, emotional, or bizarre ways, your brain's way of weaving experiences into memory. Dreams are the brain's nightly storyteller, blending memories and imagination into a private theatre. Fact 98. Sleep deprivation intensifies hallucinations. Lack of sleep doesn't just make you tired, it can also alter perception. Sleep deprivation increases the likelihood of hallucinations, as the brain struggles to maintain proper sensory processing without restorative sleep. Interestingly, even short-term deprivation can make ordinary sights or sounds seem strange, while chronic deprivation intensifies visual, auditory, or tactile hallucinations. The brain essentially tries to fill gaps created by missing sleep cycles, leading to unusual sensory experiences. This is another reason why consistent, quality sleep is vital. Without it, the brain's ability to process reality diminishes, impacting focus, judgment, and mental well-being. So tonight, prioritizing rest isn't just about energy. It's about keeping your perception clear and your mind functioning properly. Sleep deprivation is the brain's miscommunication, turning missing rest into distorted reality. Fact 99. Polyphasic sleep changes brainwave patterns. Some people experiment with polyphasic sleep, dividing rest into multiple short naps throughout the day instead of one long sleep period. This schedule alters brainwave patterns, compressing the typical cycles of non-REM and REM sleep into shorter bouts. Interestingly, the brain can adapt to this pattern over time, maintaining memory consolidation and restorative functions, but it requires careful scheduling. Rapid transitions between sleep stages can change how deep sleep and REM contribute to mental and physical recovery. Polyphasic sleep is a fascinating example of the brain's flexibility, showing how neural rhythms can adjust to unconventional routines. So tonight, whether you sleep in one block or multiple segments, your brain continuously adapts to preserve rest and restoration. Polyphasic sleep demonstrates the brain's remarkable adaptability, reshaping rhythms to fit changing schedules. Fact 100. The brain can adapt to new sleep schedules over time. Finally, the brain is remarkably flexible. When you shift your sleep schedule for work, travel, or lifestyle changes, the brain gradually adapts. Circadian rhythms, hormone release, and sleep architecture all adjust to the new routine, though it may take several days to fully synchronize. Interestingly, light exposure, meal timing, and consistent bedtimes accelerate this adjustment. Your internal clock doesn't reset instantly, but it responds to environmental cues, gradually bringing alertness and restfulness back in line. This adaptability is why people can recover from jet lag, switch to night shifts, or adjust to seasonal changes with time and consistent habits. The brain's internal timing system is resilient, responding to repeated patterns and cues. So tonight, as you settle into a new routine, remember that your brain is quietly recalibrating, preparing you for alertness and deep rest in your new schedule. The brain's adaptability is the ultimate sleep guide, gradually syncing rest and wakefulness to fit your life.